Good day, good day, good day. I'm Archbishop Alan Wiggins, and I'm telling you, I'm excited about welcoming you to Freedom Fridays. Now, Freedom Friday came about because of what we call a call to Code Red, creating a culture of debt elimination. Code Red, that in this season that we're in, we believe that for you and your family to prosper, you've got to make getting rid of your debt a priority. It's got to be intentional. And so we thought that every Friday we would just have different guests come on this presentation and talk about different principles that led to their success. And maybe you could adopt some of those principles, all those principles, none of those principles. I just believe by the Holy Spirit you'll get a certain conviction and you'll be led to do certain things that would lead to your own success. And so today I'm so excited to have with us a young man that I've admired for some time. His name is Mike Sancho. And let me tell you how I met Mike. It's just absolutely phenomenal. We were right here in the sanctuary of our church, and we were involved in a business deal together, a part of a team. I had never met him, but the place was full. And you know, we are a predominantly black church. We're multicultural, but most times it's 90+% black. But we had about 5 white folks sitting on the front row, and I was looking across the room, and I was just looking at you, Mike. Yeah. And Mike was so full of energy. He was so full of just power. No fear at all. And I was like, there's something special about this young man. And so I got a chance to meet him, and the next thing I know, we've been in a couple business ventures over the years together. And I invited him to come on and be a part of this presentation. And he gladly said, yes, Bishop, you know what? I have no problems with it. I love to be a part of this Freedom Friday presentation. So, Mike, I just kind of want them to get to know you.
Sure.
And just kind of talk about your story, talk about where you came from, your humble beginnings. And I want you to know I'm sitting up here among greatness. But he has a humble beginning. So kind of tell him your story.
I appreciate that. I wouldn't say I'm that great, but
humble.
So, and the funny thing is, when I did first meet you several months ago here in this church, I was broke at the time, right? That was several years back. I was probably making no more than $1,000 or $2,000 a month. And, some of the principles that we'll be talking about today is really how I've been able to make that radical shift in just a short period of time. So,
So when you say broke, and I understand, what kind of line of work were you in?
Well, I was in food service. I was in food service.
So you was working hard.
I got out of school and I had no direction, didn't know what to do, and I just went right to work. So I took the first couple of jobs that I got offered, and I was serving in restaurants. I was doing dishwashing work.
Okay.
I was working at Subway making sandwiches for people.
Now I like Subway now. All right, now.
Yeah, I like Subway. I like Subway too.
I'd rather own one of those.
Yeah, it's better to own it than to work there. I'd agree with that.
Yes.
I'd agree with that. But I was doing this kind of work, and I wasn't earning what I felt like the value I was bringing or I could bring to the table. So it was very frustrating for me to be stuck like that, right? Mm-hmm. And I was drowning in debt because I had, massive student loans. I had, car loans, credit cards, stuff like that. So I was drowning in debt and gasping for air, and I was trying to find a way out. And, like we'll talk about today, some key principles really is what helped me escape that, because we want to eliminate the debt at all costs.
Wow. So, Mike, I'm telling you, to hear your story, and every time I hear it, and especially having known you, to see how you have constantly climbed the mountain of success. You've gotten rid of the debt, and man, the sky is just the limit. So let's talk about a few of your principles. Matter of fact, I got you to text over to me, you know, a little cheat sheet.
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
So,
sure.
so the first principle to your success, you said,
Yeah.
how you do anything is how you do everything. Can you
Yeah.
kind of explain that?
Yeah, I can, and there's a reason why I chose that as the first one, and I'm a real big proponent on this one of how you do anything is how you do everything, because, you know, just the work ethic you bring into anything is going to translate across all areas of your life. So if you find yourself slacking off in, you know, different areas of your life, you're probably going to be slacking off in business or in the areas of success. So I made it a point to achieve, right? To excel in whatever it is that I'm doing. I'm gonna be the best person doing that. So when I was working at Subway, I said, you know what? I'm working at Subway. I'm not happy working here. I'm pretty miserable actually, but I'm gonna work harder than
Right.
everybody else.
Right.
And I'm gonna be the best sandwich artist.
Right,
You know,
right.
I'm gonna make the best sandwiches. I'm gonna, you know, clean the bathroom cleaner than anybody else. I'm gonna, you know, sweep this and, you know, clean the oven and go above and beyond. And with that mentality, it was really interesting how quickly I was able to rise in the ranks, you know, working those jobs. I was able to go from regular employee to store manager in 2 months. And people had been working there for years, and they had not, you know, received any type of promotion. But because I was showing up early, you know, and working before I even clocked in, because I was taking other people's shifts, volunteering to do this, you know, going above and beyond, doing things that I was not expected to do, and I was not expecting to be compensated for it. I was able to be rewarded for that, and that's one
Wow.
of the ways I was able to increase my income. Is just, you know, how you do anything is how you do everything.
So there is a consistency
Mm-hmm.
in every facet of your life, and you are, if you're going to be excellent,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to be excellent throughout.
Across the board, it's either you're excellent or you're not. Is the way I see it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, man, excellent in cleaning the bathroom
Yeah.
as well as making the sandwich.
Just do it a good job. Do
Right.
it once, and then you don't got to go back and do it again. You know, you don't have to. You know, your boss isn't gonna come tell you, hey, this is done poorly, and you know this and that. You do it right the first time.
And everything you did
Mhm.
was not just for money.
No, it was just for
That
the
was
sake
just your
of, if I
standard.
was doing it, is it had to be excellence. I just had to do it, and it became, by taking on that mentality, it became a habit, right? It became a habit, and I got used to. I basically programmed my mind. Things that I didn't want to be doing, I just automatically did it right away, got it done, and I did a very good job at it.
Wow.
So that way I didn't have to procrastinate those
Right.
things that I didn't want to do. That was just my mentality.
So how you do anything is how you do everything. You should type that in the chat. Man, that's a principle worth holding on to. I mean, that's even blessing me right now. How you do anything is how you do everything. That alone, I mean, whether you worked for money, expecting income from it, the Bible says when you're faithful over a few things, God would make you rule over many.
Mhm.
And you are a living testimony.
That's the proof right there.
That
That's
is
the
so
proof
awesome.
right there. Yeah.
Well, the second one you sent over to me,
Mhm.
you said how you do anything is how you do everything. But the second principle
Yeah.
is becoming a leader.
Yes.
Talk to us about becoming a leader.
Okay. I think that becoming a leader is one of the most important things that you can do on the journey to success. Because as a leader, you don't sit around and wait for direction, right? You're an action taker. Leaders are people that make things happen, and they do it right now. So I started to go very deep into studying leadership. You know, I was reading books by, you know, like John C. Maxwell. He teaches a lot on
Yeah.
leadership, and I started to
Says
study
everything
those.
rises and falls.
Yeah,
on
everything
the leader.
rises and falls on leadership.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you become a leader, you step into a position of leadership, you're going to be able to build a team. And one of the things about, if you're looking to go far, you need a team. That's one of the things when I was first getting started in business, was trying to do everything on my own. And I quickly realized that I can't do everything. So I had to become the leader, and I had to, you know, create influence. People had to want to follow me and work with me.
Wow.
And from that, I was able to build a really solid team that has my back, you know?
Become a leader. So becoming a leader, I mean, as I think about it even now, requires you to go an extra mile in terms of learning the craft, learning the skill,
Oh, yeah.
so that you can be a respected leader.
Yes.
And so
You want to be a good leader.
you want to be a good leader.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that leadership is influence, but it's one thing when you're competent.
Yeah, that's very important. Yeah,
And you use your influence in a very positive way.
that's a good thing, because you don't want to just be a bossy leader and be like, well, I'm leading, I'm the boss. You do this, you do that, you do this. You need to, actually study leadership and come from a place of, respect and leading. I believe in leading from the front, and as a leader, you wouldn't ask anyone to do something that you're not willing to do yourself, right?
Right.
And a lot of times, with some of my businesses now, I have employees, and
Wait a minute.
I'll jump right in and do it with them.
Over 21. You got all these employees.
Oh, I just turned 28 the other day.
But that is awesome. So when we talk about becoming a leader,
Yeah.
you said something else that I want to make sure that I just accent here. You said you would read
Yes.
books and
Yes.
materials
Yep.
to sharpen your leadership skill.
Absolutely.
I don't know if you've seen any of our other presentations, but last week and the week before, our presenters said the same thing about
Really?
always being a student.
You got to be a
willing,
sponge.
You got to
Yeah.
be a sponge. You got to
Yeah.
be willing to learn.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I think that is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest things is you have to take in that information and learn from the people who have what you want. So self-education is something that I'm huge on. They have the saying, formal education will make you a living, self-education will make you wealthier, make you rich, right?
Wow.
And that's one of the things that I've put into practice, and I've made it a point to go out and learn as much as I can
Right.
on the topics that whether it's leadership, learning about finances, investing.
Right.
If you keep learning, you're going to be able to keep elevating yourself in life. There's the way I like to put it is, if you're not growing, you're dying, right? And for me, I have to always be growing. There's so much that you don't know, right?
Right.
And you don't know what you don't know. So you got to keep learning. That's one of the biggest things for me. I'm always reading, always studying, always listening to audiobooks and sharpening my skills.
I am really excited about having Mike here today, because I think just having a practical talk, just down to earth, and you're hearing these principles coming from someone that has tried them, has proven them, and willing to share. And I hope that you're listening, and I hope that you're really learning to from this presentation. There's another principle, Mike, that you mentioned. And when I read it, I was like, okay, what is he talking about? You said time blocking?
Time blocking.
What's time blocking?
Time blocking, yeah.
Now, I've heard of blocking, but what you saying time blocking?
Time blocking is a fancy way of saying you work off of a schedule. Really, I would say.
Okay.
So you're creating blocks of time in your schedule for you to get things done. Because for a long time, I would just wake up and go with the flow. I had no plan.
Right.
And I would find myself wasting large periods of time doing absolutely nothing, whether it's scrolling on, Facebook or Instagram, or watching YouTube videos, or just sleeping all hours of the day. It doesn't, no matter what, it could be anything, right?
Right.
So what I started to do was I became very intentional about creating my schedule and blocking time for work, blocking time for extracurricular activities, blocking time for exercise and diet, which I need to get back into.
Yeah. I'm with you. You
So
got a partner
I need to block a
Let's
little
not
more
talk
time.
about that.
I need to block a little more time for exercise.
Yeah.
But no, it's very, very important, because once I started working off of a schedule, I found that I was able to get exponentially more done,
Right.
way more done, because I found, when I wasn't blocking out my time,
Right.
it seemed like I was doing a lot of work. I seemed to be really busy,
Right.
but when you measured what was actually done, there wasn't much getting done.
So, of our viewers don't know how many businesses that you are involved
Mhm.
in, and I don't know if you mind sharing, but when we
Yeah.
talk about time blocking,
Mhm.
it helps to increase your capacity to do several different things.
Yes.
So, if you feel free to talk about the different industries or
Sure.
even the businesses that
Sure.
you're a part of, that this time blocking concept has helped you to be
Sure.
able to do.
Yeah, it's really the only way I've been able to take on so much. I'm a full-time network marketer. I've been in the network marketing industry for 10 years. I do a lot of investing and trading. I've been trading in the Forex and cryptocurrency markets for the past 5-6 years. I also run a business management and consulting service, and we run accounts for clients on Amazon, Walmart. We also have a YouTube automation business. We build YouTube channels for clients. I do stuff in real estate. I do stuff with Airbnb, stuff with
Wow.
Uber, rental car fleets.
Okay, that's enough. That's enough.
It keeps going and going and going.
So the Bible says that we should have 7
That's what
income
it said.
streams,
That's what it said.
maybe even 8.
I took that very literal.
And I think you got some hours. I think you got more. But that is great. But the time blocking
Yeah,
gives you the discipline
to be able to
to be
do
able
that.
to do so many
Correct.
other investment
Mhm.
opportunities.
Yep, correct. Because I'm able to balance my schedule, and my goal with the business is to set it up, put the right people and systems
Yeah.
in place, and then it's something that you can have a more passive, hands-off approach on, and you can just kind of oversee. So that's really my strategy there. But through time blocking, I'm able to, separate my time and work on the projects as
Right.
I need to.
Right. Well, one of the principles that I ministered some time back, I told our congregation and I told our viewers that everybody need a side hustle.
Oh, yes.
Now, I might need to change that after listening to Mike here. Everybody needs side hustles.
Yeah.
Because you need to have your several different streams of income in place. That way you can amass the capital to deal with your debt
Yes.
situation. So it's not just about you paying off your debt because you are diminishing your lifestyle. It's not about that. It's really about increasing your income.
Yes.
So now that you
Yes.
can manage your debt accordingly.
That's
that
been
make
my
sense?
best strategy, because the way I viewed my debt was, look, I can try and save up and work to pay down my debt, or I can create multiple streams of income that are all going to start flowing in. I can increase my income, and then that is how I'll be able to tackle that debt, and that's what I've been able to do.
So on this list here, and Mike, you've already done well. I mean, we could end this session right now. You've just been phenomenal. But you have on here training your mindset.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that.
Training your mindset, that goes a little bit hand in hand with what we discussed earlier with educating yourself,
Yeah.
but also it can come down to discipline. I like to challenge myself, and that's through anything. I like to train myself to not procrastinate, or if I'm exercising in the gym, I'm trying to train myself to not give up, not quit. If my mind is telling me you're tired, get off of the treadmill, you gotta stop, you're done, I'll just keep pushing and keep going, and training myself to be limitless, right? And to break through, because that's where growth happens, is when you're uncomfortable. That's where the growth happens. You're never going to grow inside of your comfort zone. So I make it.
You're never going to grow inside your comfort
You won't.
zone.
So I make it a
You might
point
wanna
to get uncomfortable. Yeah,
Wow.
make it a point to get uncomfortable. That's the best way I've been able to train my mindset, is get uncomfortable.
So I don't know if you know this, but you kind of was talking about going to the gym and all of that.
Yeah.
So when they talk about getting ripped, Is that
Yeah.
kind of like getting uncomfortable?
Yeah,
and
that
ripping
is.
your
Yeah,
muscles?
yeah, yeah. 'Cause
So
yeah.
that helps them to grow.
Exactly.
And
So that's what we all need to do. We all got to get ripped.
we got to get ripped. We got to
We
get
gotta get
ripped,
ripped,
and we
yeah.
got to get ripped in our business acumen. We got to
Same
get
thing.
ripped in
Gotta
our
get
minds.
ripped in your mind. Yeah.
Wow, that is
Yeah.
absolutely fun.
That's it. That's it. You got to push. You got to be willing to do what other people aren't. You know,
Mm.
and that's how you're going to get things that other people will not, because you're willing to go, and do whatever it takes. One of my favorite sayings that I learned probably about 5 years ago when I first got into business was a saying. He said, the guy I was studying, he said, "You can have whatever you want if you're willing to do whatever it takes." And that stuck with me. I put it on a reminder on my phone.
Wow.
Goes off every day. I still look at it every day. You can have whatever you want if you're willing to do whatever it takes. And that
Wow.
comes with training your mindset.
Wow.
Because
That's-
in order to do whatever it takes, you're going to have to train your mind. It's not easy. You
Wow.
know? You have to
Wow.
become a warrior.
I love this. Love this guy. So your final one on here, and I know
Yeah.
we'll close on this
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
but you said never give up.
You can't stop.
Can't stop.
You can't stop, won't stop. You just can't give up.
I mean, you're saying never give up, but what about in the face of failure? I mean, you have so many doors closed in your
Yeah.
face. People tell you no, they don't want to hear you, they don't want to listen.
Yeah.
Especially if you're in the people business.
I think failure is one of the biggest underrated keys to success, because failure tells you what not to do. And you can't succeed without failing, because you have to learn what not to do in order to know what to do. So every single business that I've taken part in, I consistently fail every single day. Every single day I fail, I'm a failure.
And that's not an insult.
No, I love to fail because, and you're laughing because it's true, it's true.
Right.
And it's true because you don't know what you don't know, like we talked about earlier.
Yes.
So when you get involved in something and you're getting out there and it's new and you're uncomfortable, you're gonna fail. You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna fall flat on your face. And a lot of people, that's what holds them back, because they're worried about other people seeing them go through that.
Right.
Me, I eliminated that. I said, look, no one even cares what I'm doing anyways, because they're worrying about themselves, right? A lot of people think that everyone is so concerned with what they're doing, but really, they're concerned with their own life and their own problems.
Right.
So I went out and, I fell on my face time and time and time again. Every time you fall on your face, you go, well, that didn't work so well. Maybe I should try this. You fall on your face again, that didn't work. Let me try it this way. Okay, I didn't hit my face as hard.
Right.
It works a little better. Let's kind of go this way.
Right.
And that's kind of how, we've been able to navigate, all the businesses that I've been building. I started by failing miserably. Every business that I started, even network marketing, it took me 5 years just to make $1,000 a month in network marketing. I made hardly anything. I couldn't get anyone to sign up. No one would say yes to me. But I just kept going. I kept failing. And I kept getting better.
Right.
And eventually, I started to get some. Okay, I'll do it. And from there, it got better and better and better. And when you talk about trading and investing, I mean, you talk about blown account, right? A lot of people, that's all they need. They're done.
Right.
But for me, I don't give up. I use it as
And that's
learning.
a principle.
It's a principle.
Yeah.
And I think especially in investing, it's been huge for me, because you're going to lose. Every loss you take in investing is a mistake that you're not going to repeat. If you repeat it, it's going to hurt twice as bad, and you're really not going to repeat that mistake.
Right.
But at the end of the day, if you want to achieve success in your life, you have to be willing to go through that. You have to be going through the trials and tribulations. Nothing is just handed to you, okay? So, if that's going to be the case, then you already have to be willing to not give up from the start. And you can pivot and take different ways, and it may be a different vehicle, right, or a different business or something else than you originally thought it would be.
Right.
But when I say never give up, I mean you just keep going. It's not that you keep doing something that you don't like or that doesn't bring fulfillment to you, right? You may need to shift the vehicle, but internally you're not giving up on your dreams and your goals.
So Mike, thank you first of all.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I'm going to come back to you because I want you to look right into the camera
Okay.
and give one short word of encouragement to the listeners. But I want to review the principles that Mike has shared with us today. That first one, how you do anything is how you do everything. Just want to make sure for the note takers, you make sure you get that.
Yeah, break that
Second
one
one
down.
is become a leader. Become a leader. The third one, and we spent a little time on this, time blocking. You got to have some discipline in your life. You got to set a schedule in your life. And then number 4, train your mind. Train your mindset. That involves investing in those materials that are necessary and hanging out with people who are on a different level, who may have principles to share like we're sharing today. And then finally, never give up. But I want Mike to just, from his heart, if you could encourage those people who are listening that might be dealing with debt and looking for better, coming out of this present post-pandemic era, what could you say to them to encourage them?
I would say for you guys to live in the future, right? Live in the future in your mind. A lot of people focus on where they're at currently and how unhappy they are with their current situation. And I'm telling you guys, your life can radically change. You may think that you're stuck or that you're going to be doing what you're doing right now for the rest of your life. You are not a tree. You can move. You can do different things, right?
Yes.
So, I could have looked at my situation and said, man, I'm miserable. I'm washing dishes. I'm working, 70, 80 hours a week. Hang my head. This is my life. This is what I'm going to do, and I give up. Or I can look to the future, which is what I did. I said, look, I'm going to be financially free. I'm going to be a business owner. I'm going to be able to travel wherever I want to in the world. Well, although right now I can't because of other restrictions, but once that's over, I'll be able to. But I was living in the future before I got there. I already knew the destination of where I was going, and I didn't allow myself to get discouraged on what I was living in today. So that would be my biggest tip is don't get discouraged and look to your future and just keep going. You're going to get there.
Wow. Once again, thank you, Mike. I mean that.
Thank you.
So
Thanks for
much
having me.
coming.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
And thank you all for listening. I hope and pray that these principles that were shared today blessed your life. I want to encourage you to like and share this broadcast with others, your family members, friends, that your fave 5 even. You want to make sure that everybody in your circle starts to get on the same page. If you don't get them on the same page with you, you're going to wear them out. Because what we're talking about is many businesses and many streams and this mindset of never giving up. You really want to surround yourself with that same type of person. Again, we're creating a culture of debt elimination, which means we must create a culture of debt eliminators. So thank you again for listening, and thank you for tuning in. God bless you, and let's keep pushing forward. This is our Freedom Friday presentation. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.